Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good week. But I don't know who, what, when, where, why. And I'm not even gonna pay attention to my chat. I'm gonna put me up a different page and I'm gonna speak my damn mind. I have beef with a lot of people on YouTube. But it would be a cold day in Hades before I ever send emails under fictitious names, under the premise that, oh, I got my feelings hurt. To tell somebody to unalive themselves and then send videos, what is wrong with you? Over an internet beef. I mean, you folks are on some bullshit. What is going on with you? Now I'm going to tell a little story because I like to tell stories. And I'm going to put a trigger warning out here because it involves self harm and hanging. Now, I've had people ask me, what's wrong with your voice? I'm gonna tell you a little story. For many years, I've battled depression, anxiety, agoraphobia. Many years. Self hate. So one day, I got the brilliant idea of unaliving myself. That hangman's noose hung around my neck. Luckily, I survived. Not once, not twice, 8 attempted hangings, and I failed miserably. One, because I had parents who babysat me like a, I don't know what, and a husband. So, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. It damaged my voice box, and this is what I'm left with. Sure, if I had millions of dollars, I have money. Not gonna lie about it. To go have the voice surgery that I need to give me back my original voice. I have beef with, like I said, a lot of people. I may talk shit. I may say what's on my mind. You see, how many people have I battled? Enough. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Whoever this person is, I'm taking that as a personal threat to myself. I don't care if those emails weren't directed at me. I'm taking it. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And Ray, if you hear this, I know we don't care for each other, but it's not okay. Of whatever email was sent to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire a private investigator to find out who this person is and have you prosecuted. Because that is bullshit. And see, there are ISP numbers. I'm going to link a video down below how to find an ISP number on a Gmail email. There's a way to do it. You've angered the wrong one that has the money to fight you, whoever you are. This is not cool, and I won't stand for it. Bullying, calling CPS, and all this other shit on people needs to stop. This needs to stop. I don't know what kind of fuckery people have been into lately, but it's been like a shift. Even here on this big island, these people are acting crazy. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you to the point where you tell somebody, even send them a YouTube link? Are you serious? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to link my Instagram down below. If you have been affected in any way, shape, or form, I don't care what the email says, send it to me so that I can forward it on to the investigator. Because, see, what people fail to realize, and I've left several videos before talking about my experience, what happened to me. When somebody went in my real life and had me swatted, now I take it personally. And once I find out your true identity, it becomes a hate crime because I happen to be Jewish. So there's a federal charge and a federal lawsuit waiting to come your way. And I will stand behind anybody. I don't care who you are, what you are. Race, creed, color, doesn't fucking matter. You do not deserve to be harassed to the point where these type of emails are coming through to you. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. You ready for that knock on your door? Whoever you are, you've angered the wrong person. That is not something you go around and do. Now, how would that make you feel if somebody does what you want them to do? How is that going to make you feel? Is that going to give you satisfaction? And I hope whoever got these emails, the first line of defense you have. Now you're going to make me come out of my character. Well, I don't play a character. I am who I am. The first line of defense you have is to keep logs of everything. Delete nothing. Because, see, believe it or not, you can be traced through those emails. And I will provide resources for these people to find out who you are. Try me. See, what I didn't tell everybody is, yeah, I won my lawsuit. But I gained a lot of people, a lot of supportive people who have stood beside me since 2017. So whoever is sending these emails, you and I now have a problem. You want to dox me? Go for it. I've already doxed myself. I've already explained my criminal history. Go ahead. It's in my video on my channel. Go right ahead and listen to it. I'm not afraid of you. I had to be called day in hell before I'm ever afraid of you. I don't know who you are, but when I find you, I'm going to watch them toss your ass off in handcuffs, and I'll make sure I'm on the flight out of Hawaii to wherever your location is. Like I said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, because it is never okay to tell anybody to unalive themselves. Never. You have people like Shani and Rev on this fucking platform, child abusing, e-begging scum of the earth. And yet, those children were made to suffer because of all the false phone calls to CPS. That's why it took, almost a year to 2 years before CPS finally came in and took those boys? because dumbasses want to go real life. Instead of just collecting the evidence and sending it to the authorities, those boys were made to suffer. There's a video on my channel where Rev threatened, I think, the boy with the autism. A 600-pound heifer that refuses to do anything but sit in bed all day. Oh, that bragged she had all this money and was so wealthy. Why is her ass being evicted from a fucking motel today? Y'all need to think before you speak. If you don't like somebody, it's really simple. You block them and you keep it moving. I may not agree with what Razorblade has done. I may not agree with what this one does. In no way, shape, or form do I harass them. No way, shape, or form do I tell somebody, go kill yourself. I've said it to one person. One. And when I said it, I fucking meant it. And you want to know why I told him he was? Because he was a fucking pedophile. Somebody in my real life. Those kind of people don't deserve to live. Because you're angry at somebody, because you're thinking you have the upper hand, my friend, I don't know who you are, but when I find you, I will show you no mercy. Because you think, well, public defender's going to help you? Like I said, I will put every fucking dime of my money in my mouth. I will sell both my house. Well, I've got 3 houses. I will sell the goddamn one of them if I have to. I will hunt you down like the wounded dog you'll become. Don't play those type of games. Ever. That is not cool. Did you not? And I'm pretty sure you've seen what happened to one of Trisha's victims. Because she told her 13-year-old daughter to film a woman who unalived herself, but yet holds no accountability. Look at the Amanda Todd story over cyberbullying and harassment. What did that little girl do? She unalived herself. The first time is not a mistake. So I don't want to hear the fake ass apologies. I'm telling you, I'm going to put every cent of my money in my mouth and I'm coming for you. I am going to hold you accountable for everything. You know, I don't agree with Nikki Rev. I don't talk about her every day. I don't harass her. I just go on with myself. I don't go watch her channel. I leave her alone. See, that's what grown-ass folks do. You leave people alone. But no, the internet has made it so easy for these people to do what they do. And how many victims is it going to take before somebody stands up and says something? Well, I'm not going to allow any more victims. I'm coming for you. Whoever you are, I will find you. And I promise you, I will get you. Now, the first line of defense that I was told when I decided to come back to YouTube, the very first line of defense is never show your face, never give your name, never trust anybody. Because I can sit here all day and say, hey, I'm your friend, but then turn around and be a psychopath. No, I'm good. I have a very small circle of friends who really know my identity, who really I can trust. Okay, I did this shit 3 years ago to a person because I was bitter and angry. But you know what I did? I did something about it, and I went into treatment, and I got myself the help that I needed. Maybe that's what you need to do. Do not. Oh, and I want you to come for me, honey. Oh, yes, I do. Because all I have to do is fire up my all-in-one computer. That's all I got. That's all it's going to take. See, I'm a person that I'm about dignity and respect. And that's one thing that the internet has taken away. Why don't you go close the lid of your computer if you're on a laptop, or shut your phone off and walk outside? Go take you a walk. Go fucking get a life. Leave people alone. Like I said, I may not agree with the things that go on, but this is one thing I'm going to stop before it ever gets fucking started. Enough already. You know, look at the family of 5. What happened with them? Child abuse. Why are we not fighting causes that can benefit humanity instead of telling everybody to go kill themselves? Fuck off with that. You know, instead of tearing somebody down, why don't you build them up? But no, you hide behind a screen. Well, guess what? I guarantee you by the end of 2 weeks, I'll know exactly who you are. I happen to have a very good friend in IT who I met because of my story, what happened to me, who said, hey, if you ever need me, I'm here for you. Guess what? I'm going to come calling now. And if you hide behind a VPN, court orders can get your IP address. Just saying. So you're not going to be able to hide for long. This is the most hideous shit I have ever seen in my life. You know, if you see somebody struggling, why don't you help them instead of harming them, or whoever you are? I'm not going to throw around names because I don't know. But I'm just going to tell you what you're doing is not cool. And I have money. I have a passport. Don't think I won't come to you and find you. But remember the story of the pill writer? Where he says he's coming and he's bringing hell with him. Well, adjourn that to I'm coming for you and I'm bringing law enforcement with me. I refuse to back down from whoever you are. And I want to apologize to anybody who's had to deal with this. Like I said, I'm not going to start throwing around names. I don't know your situation. I just know that what I saw this morning pissed me off. And I won't tolerate it. Because I'm going to find you. And I'm going to expose you. So why don't you send me the unalive messages? Because I will turn them over to federal authorities. Because that's a federal hate crime. Send them to me. I'll give you my email address. SOMMERRANE @gmail.com. There's my email address. Feel free. This is not fucking cool at all. I am so angry. I may have issues with Reza, but that's between me and her. And the best course of action I can take, leave that shit alone. I don't listen to that. And she says, I don't give a flying fuck. But I will stand up to this. I will defend somebody being told to go unalive themselves. I don't know the situation. I just know what I saw. What happened to humanity? I'm going to tell you what happened to humanity. The internet. That's what happened to humanity. Like I said, let's look at the case of Shani and Rev, that fat mule, that disgusting 5 million gallon ass stinking 50 cans of get back. Look at her. 600 pounds sitting in bed all day while those boys were starving to death, while Rev was abusing them children. Nobody did anything except make false accusations, or CPS probably gave them a heads up. Now, they claimed they had all that money, but if you look at the video, why were those children sleeping in those types of beds that were filthy, that I have seen laying on the streets in New York? You got people like Letitia. You got people like Adrasia. Even them, I would never say what I heard today. Never. Go get help, yeah. Fuck. What is wrong with people? And then they laugh about it and think it's okay. It's not okay. What you're doing is a crime. And I'm coming for you. And no, I'm not sitting here bragging or talking shit. Maybe you may think it that way. I'm stating a fact. This is disgusting. Disgusting. I know enough when it gets too much, I walk away. I don't have a problem shutting down my computer. I don't have a problem saying, I'm gone. Why is it so difficult for folks to do that? Oh no, they got to prove points. But then again, I can't only hold one person responsible. What about the other party? If you say, hey, we're not friends anymore, leave it at that. We're not friends. You don't talk shit, I don't talk shit. It's called agreeing to disagree. Nobody deserves to be harassed. And what happened to me in 2017 went on for 5 years. 5. Over 50 videos made about me a day because I made one video on YouTube. But I was a lot dumber back then too. I didn't know people were so callous and so disgusting. And I don't care. Oh, well, she hurt my feelings. You know what? You're an adult. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Get the fuck over it. You take pictures of people, and I've seen this all over YouTube, so it's not just, this is a very general statement. I've seen people go onto people's private Facebooks, Twitters, whatever, take their photos. Look at Katie Joy Paulson. We're going to talk about this sick bitch for just a moment. I don't like this woman. I utterly despise her. But what somebody did to her and her family, I'm glad the bitch went to jail. And I hope she goes to prison for a very long, long time. If you don't know, go over to Charlotte on the web and go back about January of 2022. There's all kinds of videos about it over a goddamn lawsuit that had nothing to do with this other person, but this person inserted themselves. Now, Katie Joy has a child that is disabled. To what extent, I have no idea. Being a medical professional, if I don't have records, I can't say. Even then, I'd be bound by HIPAA laws. But what was going on behind the scenes of all this? People were going after that baby, an innocent child that had nothing to do with what was going on between this person, that person, this person. They decided to go after that baby, just like they went after Nikki Rev's kids. You poke the wrong bear here, whoever you are. Again, I don't condone anybody's behavior, but I will put dollar for dollar in an investigator that will get to the bottom of it. I've seen people with abuse, child abuse. Shani and Rev, Father of Five, all these other family channels. Do you know? I don't know if you guys remember this case, but I'm going to bring it up because it was something that was on my radar for a long time. Of an adoptive mother who adopted, I don't know, 5, 6 kids, and forced these children to be on camera. And if they didn't get to eat. It took an army of people to report this over and over and over and over again before finally something was done. And that's what this is going to take now, is an army of people who are angry enough and fed up enough to fight back. Don't lay down and cower. And when I stood up to the person who had me swatted, or should I say people who had me swatted, who doxed me, who stalked me relentlessly, when I went after them and I fought back and I won that lawsuit, and I watched them carry this man off to prison in fucking cuffs, that was the best day of my life. I always said the best day of my life is when my children was born. No. It was when I watched them take that motherfucker out of that courtroom, knowing he was going to prison for 5 years. He should have got more time. But I was okay with what was going down. But I wasn't okay being relentlessly doxxed and harassed. That puts you in a state of mind that's going to cause some kind of emotional, and that's not okay. And when you start pulling people's children into your chaos and into your madness, you're going to be met with a force to be reckoned with. And no, I'm not sitting here saying, I had somebody the other day come into my chat and say, oh, well, you're just going to do XYZ. No, I don't think I'm tough. I just know I have enough money that I can take you down. That's what I know. My bank account tells me something else. I've always been a firm believer in money talks and bullshit walks. Well, whoever you are, whether you're male, female, whatever you are, when I find you, I'm going to sue you. Because now I'm going to have to get my money back. And I have a team of good attorneys. So my best piece of advice to you is get the fuck off the internet and leave people alone. Because the next step that's coming is you're going to prison in handcuffs. Because that is a cybercrime. I did not know this. What you need to do, and I'm speaking to the victims now, do not lay down and take this lightly. If this harassment continues, document everything. For years, I held on to computers. I've held on to hard drives of years of harassment. And when I went to court and they said, well, what proof do you have? And I laid my evidence out. That's a solid conviction per my attorney. Now, I've tried to lay low. I've tried to keep my mouth shut. I can't keep quiet no more because none of this shit is okay. And if you want to come for me, you better be ready for what's coming for you. None of this is okay. None of it. Oh, go do this. Oh, go do, my mama always told me when I was little, do not point your finger at somebody. Because when you point that finger, you always have three pointing back at you. Just something to think about. Were you not loved enough as a child? Is your life just so miserable that you live under the philosophy of misery loves company? Um, because in my life, I don't like it and I don't deal with it very well. There's a judicial system for a reason, and I highly encourage everybody to utilize, whether it's in Sweden or Ireland, go to your police and make a police report. Document it because that's your first line of defense. Whether the cops do anything about it or not is irrelevant. Documentation speaks words. Block that person on every platform. If they continue to harass you, then the next line of defense is going and seeing about a protective order. If that doesn't work, let me know, because then I can tell you what to do from there. I'm going to start on that first line of defense. One thing that I had to do when I moved to my new location, I had to call the police in the district I live in and say, hey, I'm kind of sort of a small channel YouTuber, and this is my situation. I had to take court records, protective orders, non-contact orders to them and say, this is what happened to me. So not only was I traumatized once, every time I have to relive that again so that my door's not kicked in and I'm swatted. I'm done. I'm done being angry. But now it's time to get justifiably angry. And Reza, this is my proposal to you. Take it or leave it. It's all good. If the harassment continues, like I said, your first line of defense is your police. I will put you in touch with somebody here in the US. And this is for people who I know are legitimately being harassed. I have an attorney here in the States that I will gladly put you in touch with who can help you navigate shit. And he'll do it all through email. As long as you have evidence and police reports. And it'll be free of charge to anybody who's being harassed. Well, minus a few people. There is no way this is okay. None. And I will not tolerate it. Now, on another note, I'm going to end that and I'm going to talk about something else. So apparently somebody has a problem with me, which is fine. Take a number and join the rest of the bitches in the back. I'm going to handle this as classily and as soundly as I can. You ever call me out of my name again? Ever? You're going to see me. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Because the next knock on your door is going to be me. I got your bitch. Now, see, I understand, people say, well, oh, you dox so-and-so and you dox so-and-so. I've doxed one person. But I never was stupid enough to put his dox out on the internet. I put that dox in the hands of law enforcement along with evidence. The person was taken to a mental health facility where treatment was received. Because by law, don't know what you know about my nursing license. They're current. And by law, I'm still a mandated reporter, whether it be for child abuse, whether it be for elderly abuse, mental health issues. And I tell people, you make that statement to me, you don't get a second due because I'm going to take you seriously and you're going to a mental health facility for a 72-hour hold. Don't play games with somebody that plays them a hell of a lot better than you think they do. I'm very resourceful. You ever call me another bitch, I promise you, sis, you will be the one person that I will dox. See, you like to hide, but you can only hide for so long. Now, everybody's probably thinking, oh, I know who this is. No, you don't. This is somebody that is, and how do I say this? Not so smart. That was in a chat the other night that said, not all who wonder is such a bitch and a cunt. Well, baby girl, I'll show you one. Don't play games with me. Isn't that right, Bernice? Threatening me. Funny how she disappeared when the attorney I hired in Australia probably sent her a letter warning her that if it didn't stop, we would proceed legally. They have anti-Semitic laws there as well. Let me tell you what this crazy heifer did. She went on to a video before I got married. I made a video for my mother-in-law explaining, because I live in Hawaii and my mother-in-law lives in Colorado. And I had made a few comments about to address you. This bitch tried to bully me, but her attempts were very vague. But see, she's like some of these other folks that go after those who don't fight back. And that's where we as these strong women need to come out and stand our ground. Because I don't care what you say about me. While your broke ass is eating this food, I'm eating good. I live in Hawaii, baby. I retired at 50. What do you have? A disability check? What? I worked my ass off my whole life. I deserve this. Raised 3 children. But it doesn't give me an excuse to be an asshole. It doesn't give me an excuse to treat people like I'm better than them. Like if you reviewed some of Shani's old stuff. How she would sit there, I'm a queen. No, you're a fat cow that needs to get off your lazy ass and go to Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or do like I did. You had all this money. Now hold up, y'all. I'm gonna tear into Shani's ass because I'm pissed off at her too. This bitch had $770,000. Why did she not take her fat ass to Mexico like I did and had gastric bypass surgery? I'm going to tell you why. Because it wasn't a priority for her. Me, on the other hand, when I was told, if you don't get the surgery, you have 1 year to live. Do you know what it's like being trapped inside of a body? I do. Because I was so naive and gullible and told to always respect authority, always listen to what your doctor said. So I would take these psychotropic drugs that would make me fat. Not to mention, I have a broken back. My back was broke twice. I have the last one was a compact. So basically, yeah, if I would have been an inch taller, I would have died that day. Thanks to a car accident I had. Nobody's fault but my own. I knew I shouldn't have been driving at high speeds. Going 110 miles an hour around Dead Man's Curve, I wrapped myself around a tree. By the grace of God, I survived that. By the grace of God. Couldn't walk for a while. I had to have another back surgery that the man told me, trust me, I can make you walk again. You're just going to have to do what I tell you to do. And that's when I learned, maybe I need to listen. So why didn't Shani take her fat ass down to Mexico? $17,000 is what I paid for my gastric bypass surgery. Now, before I even go there, and people say, well, oh, that's dangerous. You could have died. Let me tell you, I'm not stupid. What I did was I went to my general doctor and I told him what my plan was. And he said, before you do that, hear me out. I want you to go get the blood test. I'm going to order it just like you're having surgery. I waited for him to clear me. Then I followed instructions once I got there and after I left. I had to wait 1 week after surgery. I was in not Beverly Hills. I was in Los Angeles for 1 week in an Airbnb, laid up. I had to take blood thinners because he was afraid that I would get a blood clot. He said, the minute you get back here to Indiana, I want you in my office. So the following day I went. And he's like, how you feeling? Again, another blood test. So why didn't Shani do that? And then what really kicks my ass about this fucking disgusting pig is, like, I sat here one day and I watched a video where she was like Jason was leaving or something. And honey, let me tell you, Shani, my girl, don't nobody want that. He looks like Skeletor on heroin or meth. Don't nobody want that. I'm not that mad at my vagina. And I'm sure a lot of ladies will say the same thing, you cow. Then she goes online and, Rev, don't love me. Girl, is that all you think of yourself? Sit down. Oh, wait, you already do that. But if y'all haven't heard, they were removed from their room by police. Little birdie chirps in my ear. They were removed because they refused to leave. Yep, you've heard it here first. How disgusting that you're kicked out of a motel, not only because you don't pay, but from what I heard from a good source, of course, the smell emanating as you would walk by the room. Girl, go clean yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to say more, but I'm not. Now imagine being that dumb and naive, Rev, having all this money, and you've got this person coming at you like that, and then taking every dime you have and leaving you with nothing. No, the word no is very powerful. But then you have to have common sense, and obviously Rev doesn't have that. Get out of here. That happened to me in one relationship after my first husband died. I've been married twice. After my first husband died, I had a person who came into my life and sucked the air out of my room. I mean, it was like, yeah, that kind of relationship. It was very toxic. They were an alcoholic. I got a story about that too. But every time that I had $15,000 in the trunk of my car like an idiot. Now, y'all have to remember too, at the time I was using, I was working and using. Figure that one out. But anyways, took every dime I had. Took every dime I had. They had to pay me back after we went to court because I did prosecute him. They broke in the trunk of my car, and yeah, well, there's another story to tell. But it was really funny that after I married my current husband, this person resurfaces. And most people know I'm bisexual. Never been, it's an ex girlfriend of mine. And somewhere in her drunken stupor, whatever, I don't know what the fuck, claimed that we were married. So what I did was I called the courthouse in the town where they claimed we got married. And yeah, there was no marriage license ever issued in our name. How can you say we're married when there's not a legal document? I have a legal document with my husband that says I'm married. It's called a marriage license, you moron. So it finally took me to play. I have a friend who's a DJ, and the club this person goes to, I slipped him a couple $100 and I said, if this person comes in that club this night, I want this song played. And I just want you to kind of mention my name. So apparently, while I was out on the beach having fun here in Hawaii, this person went to the club. And guess what happened? That happened. They finally got the message. That's toxicity. Like, I should not have had to do that, but I did it. Just so this person would get it through their dumbass head. I don't want you. You know, one thing I told my husband before we ever met. Funny how my husband's a gamer too. I met my husband off of Steam. We dated for a couple years, but either way. And then he finally said, "Come to Hawaii," and I came here to Hawaii. Bada bing, bada boom. Here I am. But either way, one thing I told my husband is, "What do you bring to my table? I know what I bring. What do you bring?" See, that's how Dum Dum ended up in the situation he's in that he can't get away from. Can you imagine having to wipe your spouse's ass because they're too fat and too lazy to do it themselves? There are devices out there, just saying, that could help you do that, but no. And just like the gastric bypass surgery, yeah, it's a little risque, but Shani, you had all that $700,000. Why didn't you take your fat ass down there? Now you're broke. I hope you have fun sleeping in that Durango tonight. Oh, no. Is today Friday? No. They have till Friday. But okay, I may have gotten my facts wrong. I'll own that one. I was wrong. They have till Friday, I believe. But can you imagine being that motel owner and listening to their bullshit all the time? They'd have been gone 5 minutes. Mm-mm. No, sir. Disgusting cows. So, this all being said, I hope that whatever situation, now that this person who, like, and again, I don't know who it is. I'm not even going to try to go there. And look, I've made too many assumptions about people in the past. And you can say, oh, it was this one, and you can say it was that one. Look, I don't care. Unless I have factual evidence that I can see with my own two eyes that'll be admissible in court, I'm not even going to try it. Because the last time I did that, I ended up in some shit. And I'm not trying to do that. There's ways of combating this. Like I said, I'll put my Twitter account. Actually, my Twitter account is Louie's Mom 17. I'm not hard to find. My Twitter handle is Truth or Lies. Again, I'm not hard to find. If you've been impacted by this personally, reach out to me. I will offer some resources. I'll pay for therapy, whatever. Because this is not okay. And to the person doing this, be ready. I'm coming up your back alley. You're not going to like what's going to happen. I've got to get off here. I've got to play Call of Duty with my buddies, and I'm not going to waste no more of my time because I'm done. I've said what needs to be said. I'm offering resources to anybody. If anybody, and I'm talking about the people who've directly received these emails, these types of emails, I will offer you the names and phone numbers, email addresses of the people who helped me. And I offered this to Nikki Rev. And just to make this clear, because I don't need this coming back to me because I have the messages to prove what I'm saying. When all that was being done and harassed, and I said, hey, listen, I can offer you some resources of people who helped me. No, thank you. I'm good. Well, okay then. And I'm going to make these available to anybody that has received these types of emails of people in the United States. And if you're in another country, it's okay. Still reach out because these people can help find people in your country. Trust me. It took them 8 months to find everybody who did what they did to me. They're a damn good team. They all work very well together. So I'm going to offer these types of resources. Now, as far as counseling, I can't do that. Sorry, I don't involve myself in other people's mental health, but I will stand up against the bullying. Because that's one thing I won't stand for. When I apologized for my behavior, I made a change. And I'm going to stand with it. And I'm sorry if people feel like, well, you're a little too this and you're a little too that. It's who I am. What you hear here is who I am in real life. Anybody who knows me will tell you she's a bitch, but she's a good one because I always come through every bit. Ask my husband. Ask my neighbor. Because I'm going to tell you, I survived because it wasn't time for me to go yet. 18 attempts. 18. And I've never lied about it. Think about that. I survived because I have a will to survive and fight back. I do not have time, for the bullshit. My mother-in-law, love her. And now, nobody controls me. I'm going to make this statement very blank. Okay? I do what I want. I'm a grown-ass woman. Either you're my friend or you're not. It doesn't matter whose chat I'm in or any of that. Until there's concrete evidence, fuck off. Because I'm not trying to hear any of it. I'm an adult. And then I've had people sneak behind me and say, hey, how come you're a mod for this person, but you're friends with that person? Because I'm going to explain something to you. I'm neutral. Unless you have concrete proof, which we do have some concrete proof, I'm going to remain neutral. Because I'm not going to get into y'all's bullshit. If you're squabbling with Trisha, if you're squabbling with Adrasia, if you're squabbling with this one, it's not my fucking problem, yo. Just because y'all have a problem with somebody doesn't mean I do. So there has to be a boundary put down. I don't talk about you to them, and I don't talk to them about you. It's just the way it runs. And I don't like the backstabbing. If you're friends, okay, I don't have friends on the internet. I have acquaintances. Okay, there's one person that I'm getting ready to start working with. And we're still kind of working out our little details. But I'm going to make this very clear. I won't tolerate her being harassed either. And, I've had some of my old subscribers from when I had my bigger channel. Hey, why don't you come back and do a reaction channel? Or why don't you do this? No, I'm going in a direction I want to go in. So I'm going to do what I want to do. It's very hard for me to click with somebody the way that I click with this person. So if you don't like it, don't listen. It's very, really that fucking simple. And another thing, I want to address this too. I don't care that you guys have issues with a certain creator and her husband. I don't care. They've never done nothing to me. They have never gone out of their way to insult me or bring trouble to my path. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, well, I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out real soon. Now, I'm going to say something as an army wife. There's days that my husband comes home from wherever he goes to school. He's going to become a chef. And I have to deal with his PTSD. That's some rough shit. I have my own set of problems, but I love my husband and I want to be here. I want to be very supportive for my husband. And for that glitter tit, oh my God, don't even get me started on that drunken bitch. I call her the dildo queen. Now, I saw a video the other day where there was like 5 years of the same story. Now, I want to put a little circle around something. So hear me out. My husband was shot in the face with shrapnel. He has a very long scar down the side of his face, where when he was in Iraq, he got shot. No, he was in Afghanistan. Excuse me. Fighting for freedoms for somebody like that. We were sitting here one day and it wasn't, I can't remember what the name of the video is, but the person was talking about PTSD. And my husband was sitting next to me. I watched my grown-ass husband break down in tears because he can relate. So anybody who thinks that this man is faking, go to fuck yourself. I don't care what that plastic horse tooth bitch has to say. Let her go sit on a hill and be the queen of the dildos. Now, this is all I'm ever going to mention, truthfully, Trisha. That disgusting old egg whore. I have to watch my husband go through struggles every day because he chose to fight for our country. And to have some nasty cow like that, and she talks like she talks a good game. So again, it's one of those things. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. She wants a boxing match. Okay. I'm not a, I'm not that great of a boxer, but I'm good in New York style ass whoopings. And there's a lot of us military wives here on this island. Believe it or not, we all click. That's the amazing thing. Now my husband's a vet. My husband's no longer active military. He got out after 4 years. But can you imagine watching your husband night after night, day after day, struggle to only have a psychopath, narcissistic, plastic tit, horse tooth, disgusting cow like her? And I've kind of all turned him on to it. Because there's another lady that lives right in the same subdivision as I do. Her husband lost both of his legs. So does that make him have a stolen valor? No. No. See, people like her, people like Letitia, people like Adrasia, and half of the Democrats, we need to send these fuckers to North Korea. That's exactly what, if I was president, I would load them up and send their asses to North Korea and tell Kim Jong Un, here, I'll pay you billions. Take these fuckers. Let them find out what it's really like. And that's one thing. Like I said, that particular day, I sat here and I watched my husband break down, shaking his head because he could identify. My husband was a infantry and was shot at. Now I'm going to tell you another little part of his story as well. One particular night, he got called in by his commanding officer. They were getting ready to go out on a truck to go patrol. My husband's best friend, buddy, and him, for some reason, ended up changing places. Not even 30 minutes into the patrol, they were blown up by an ID or something like that. And everybody on that convoy was killed. Had he not been told to go stand guard, I would not be here today with him. And the guilt that I have to watch every day in his face. That bitch thinks that kind of stuff is funny. There needs to be more resources for our vets. Yes, I totally agree with it. It's like they go and give up their lives. My husband has a scar on his face. He's mentally fucked up. Even his own mother said when he came back a different person. So if I was to sit here and poke and poke and poke and poke while he's having a PTSD thing and he beats the hell out of me, I deserve every bit of it. That's not how you handle somebody with PTSD. Especially somebody who fought for my freedoms. No. There's more stories I could tell you about other vets that live on the Big Island. There's nights that I when I'm sitting in my office and my husband's laying on the couch and he's sleeping, I can watch sweat pour off of him. Because of nightmares. So her to say what she did and then lie about being raped? Are you serious? The fuck out of here. And I'm not going to take this video down. So if you're listening, congratulations. You've just earned my I don't give a fuck. And Trisha, play with me, honey. You know, there was something I saw the other day that just really pissed me off. She had a subscriber who had cancer who she claimed was her friend. And as long as she was giving her money and sending her all those horror outfits, everything was fine and dandy. And now that the woman's dead, I don't even think they got that reaction. But somebody she doesn't know, how disgusting. And then to taunt somebody in recovery, girl, I'm in recovery. I have 9 years clean off of drugs. I'm a straight up addict. Never denied it. 9 years. And I don't have to sit here and say, well, oh, I don't take. Bitch, please. There are things that I'm going to say, like my situation would happen to me in 1999. Now I'm going to tell you, real victims don't talk about it. Mine happened to me in 1999. I don't discuss it to this day. I still have flashbacks. I still have memories. But that trauma, no, you will never hear me talk about it because it's that fucking traumatic. So that's how I know she's lying. And there are other victims who I've befriended over the years that we've all said the same thing. Yeah, we live with this. We get through it. We don't talk about it. Oh, but I won't be silenced. Well, neither will I. That's why I know she's lying. You know, I came from a very, very bad childhood. I'm not going to get into it. Like the big do y'all remember when the Joker came out and she went and saw it and did like a 3 hour live stream in her fucking car because she had to prove herself. I don't know, but either way, and I thought, you're not even a good actress. My dog is a better actor when he's got to go to the bathroom. At least my dog is cute. And then she had these fake service dogs. Again, she was called out for it, and I dropped her shit into the fake service dog community. Yeah. And we started calling it out. I've trained these dogs. Both my dogs are trained. The oldest dog is getting ready to retire on Monday, on Halloween. So he's getting a day at the spa. He's going to get his nails did. He's going to get his bath and his day of massages and doggy treats and whatever else the fuck he wants to do. He's earned it. Now we bring in my little prince. I've trained both these dogs. Have y'all heard my dogs bark once? Have you heard anything? This is how service dogs behave. This is where you call it out. I'm in the process of training a Doberman for a vet who's got Parkinson's disease. I do all my training for free because my heart, because I'm married to a vet. Learn some respect. You know, I knew from day one what I was getting into when he told me I'm a vet. I said, "Oh, really?" We talked about it for months. And my heart breaks for my husband. It really does. because there's more than what I can say at the moment of what he has to deal with. And see, when you take yourself out of a toxic situation, like he was with, I'll say, an ex-girlfriend of his, and you have somebody that has compassion and understanding, that's going to look a lot better than that. You know, it costs zero fucking dollars to be a good person. Zero. But yet, like I said, the internet has ruined humanity. It needs to be turned off, and people need to learn to be kind to one another. You get more flies with honey than you do vinegar. If you know somebody's hurting, reach out and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. You okay? You good?" I do it every day. It's part of my recovery. Because I know when I went into my dark place here not too long ago, I had several people reach out to me. When my husband goes in his dark place and I say, "Hey, listen, I can't be online right now. My husband's dealing with something. I need to be with my husband." Same thing. You good? Everything okay? Has humanity lost their humanity? Because of the fucking internet. Living under the guise of, "Well, you'll never know who I am." Well, surprise. Surprise. We're going to know. It's not okay. None of this is okay. You know, instead of harassing, I thank God every day that baby was taken from Letitia and she signed it over. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I was more than prepared to fly to Arkansas, wherever she was at. I was more than prepared. But luckily enough, things went down the way they did. But I was more than prepared, like I said. Not that I'm looking for anything. I was more concerned about that baby. And see, instead of y'all harassing her, you should have went and thought about, and that's what I kept screaming in one of my videos is, you guys are so worried about what the fuck she's doing. What about that baby? What's going to happen to that baby once it comes? There's an innocent child here that had nothing to do with nothing, that unfortunately had that for a mother. And I hope whoever has him gets to adopt him. I really do. That he will never, ever, ever have to know that thing is his mother. And to just sit the, well, it's none of my business. Bitch, sit down. And I'm glad she's in jail. She's right where the fuck she needs to be. You got a Dracia over here. I've spoken to Aunt Kathy on more than one occasion. I've reached out to her. I've spoken to her. I've emailed her. Do you know Adracia was so jealous of that boy? She hated him. Fucking hated him, didn't you? But now she wants to sit here and play victim. No, you don't get that right. And another thing, look at Roberta Laws. I want to talk about her for a minute because I'm never going to let her forget her. Ever. I'm choosing my words very carefully here. There's a podcast, if you look on my community tab, about a true crime channel a while back that actually did a deep dive. Well, I wouldn't say a deep dive, but enough about the Adrasia and the Kenneth McBride. But my question that I pose to everybody listening to this, I read that Roberta Laws was tied down. She was naked and tied down to a bed. Ask yourself this question. The woman had cerebral palsy. Why the fuck was she tied down to a bed? Why? There's no way in hell she could have fought back. And I do not believe that Adrasia sat out in the truck. You want my opinion? I believe something was going on. 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, who knows? See, having the mind that I do, I pick out the little details. I do not believe, any way, shape, or form, that Adrasia sat out in that truck. I believe that they tied Roberta up, not kink shaming here at all. Maybe they were engaging in an activity, an adult activity. We don't know. Does it make sense? None of it makes sense to me. And she got a slap on the ass because they needed a witness. See, I believe had there been another eyewitness, her ass would be in prison. And even still, they could have gave her accessory abuse of a corpse. But ask yourself why that was never happened. Why that never happened. Because if Adrasia was the one who pulled the trigger on all that, there's more that I know. And in time, I'm going to release it. But I want you guys to remember the victims of everything I've talked about. Just think about that for a minute. No, it doesn't make sense. None of it made sense. So with this being said, I'm going to end my stream. I've got things to do. Oh yeah, my neighbor, the woman is driving me bananas. And I'm going to work to become her caregiver soon. And it's like, you can't even walk in the driveway without her coming out. She's sweet. She's real sweet, but annoying. I've got to go deal with her. So just think about that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the episode that Trash Panda and I are going to do. We're going to try to work on it this weekend. It's going to be a doozy. We're vaguely going to talk about what happened, and it's going to be a very twisty, turny road. I'm really looking forward to working with her. I'm really looking forward to it. So, anyways, look for that on Monday. We're going to try to get it done this weekend as best we can. It may be something raw and unfiltered because that's how I do. I don't believe in fucking talk, So what, you said the S word, or so what, you said the F word. Whatever. I like unfiltered and I like unscripted. We're going to work with a little bit of a script, not too much, because, I can't stay on task. I got too much in my head. So we're going to try to do it as fun and not fun. But anyways, stay tuned. We'll be back.